Hello, Human. So, you clicked on a video called The 6 Greatest Unsolved Mysteries of the Deep Ocean. Let's get to it. Number 6. The Bloop. Imagine you're a technician in 1997, staring at a screen in a listening station. Your job is to monitor a network of underwater microphones, a relic of the Cold War, originally designed to hunt for enemy submarines. Most days, it's just whale songs and seismic rumbles. But today, a sound comes through that makes the hair on your arms stand up. It's a low, powerful rumble from a remote corner of the Pacific, and it sounds alive. It's a mystery that feels less like science and more like a monster movie. On that day, hydrophones spread across more than 5,000 kilometers of ocean all picked up the same thing, an ultra-low frequency sound nicknamed the bloop. It was incredibly powerful, several times louder than the call of a blue whale. That's the largest animal on Earth. The sound lasted for about a minute and had a unique profile that suggested a biological origin. It wasn't the sharp crack of an earthquake or the drone of a submarine. For years, the leading theory was a terrifying one. Deep in the abyss, there was a creature far larger and more powerful than anything we had ever imagined, a true leviathan from the unlit depths. The sound's profile was so organic, it seemed the only logical explanation for a noise that could echo across an entire ocean. The official explanation is an icequake, the sound of a massive iceberg cracking and breaking away from a glacier in Antarctica. The acoustic profile of icequakes can be powerful and can travel vast distances. But even with this neat scientific answer, a question lingers. How did a fracturing piece of ice create a sound that so perfectly mimicked the frequency variation of a living creature? The bloop may be officially solved, but for many, it remains the sound of the monster we almost discovered.
Number 5. The lost city of Thonis Herakleion. For centuries, it was a ghost story, a legend whispered by historians. The ancient Greeks wrote of a magnificent port city at the mouth of the Nile, a gateway to Egypt so grand it housed a temple where Helen of Troy herself sought refuge. The city was called Herakleion by the Greeks and Thonis by the Egyptians, but like Atlantis, it vanished without a trace. So completely erased from the world that for over 2,000 years, scholars were convinced it was pure myth, a fiction from a bygone age. Then, in the year 2000, an underwater archaeologist and his team discovered it, perfectly preserved beneath the waves of Abu Qir Bay. It was all real. They found colossal, 16-foot statues of pharaohs and gods staring blankly from the seabed. They found the ruins of the Grand Temple of Amun, gold coins, intricate jewelry, and over 700 ancient anchors arranged in a vast ship graveyard. This was no myth. It was one of the most important trade hubs of the ancient world, a thriving metropolis that connected Greece to the riches of Egypt, frozen in time under 30 feet of water. The sheer scale of the discovery was staggering, rewriting the history of an entire era. The scientific consensus is that the city wasn't destroyed by a single catastrophe, but sank slowly due to soil liquefaction. A combination of earthquakes and rising sea levels turned the clay ground the city was built on into a liquid, swallowing it whole. This explanation makes perfect geological sense, but it doesn't answer the bigger question. How does a city of such immense importance, the primary port for an entire empire, get so completely lost to human memory that for millennia we didn't even believe it existed?
Number 4. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, a team of oceanographers were sweeping the floor of the Baltic Sea, searching for shipwrecks and lost treasures. But their sonar painted an image on their screens that was far stranger than any sunken vessel. It was a massive, perfectly circular object, looking less like the Millennium Falcon had crash-landed at the bottom of the ocean. They had found something that, by all appearances, did not belong on planet Earth. The sonar image revealed a 200-foot-wide disc-shaped object nearly 300 feet below the surface. It had features that seemed eerily artificial: right angles, straight lines, and what looked like a staircase leading to a dark, circular opening. Behind the main object, the sonar detected what appeared to be 1,000-foot-long drag marks gouged into the seabed, as if the object had skidded to a halt. When the divers approached, they reported that their electrical equipment, including satellite phones and cameras, mysteriously failed whenever they were directly above the anomaly. The shape, the features, and the strange interference all pointed to something completely outside our understanding of the deep sea. The official scientific explanation is far more mundane. Geologists who analyzed samples from the site concluded it is most likely a rock formation, a glacial deposit left behind during the last ice age, its strange shape carved by melting ice. And yet, that explanation feels incomplete. How do random glacial processes create a structure with such stunning symmetry, staircase-like features, and a massive straight trail behind it? Is it really just a rock, or are we looking at something that fell from the sky and settled into the darkness?
Number 3. The Milky Seas. Imagine you are a sailor, centuries ago, alone on the deck of your ship in the dead of night, hundreds of miles from any shore. Suddenly, the black ocean begins to glow. It's not the familiar sparkle of disturbed plankton, but a steady, uniform, milky white light stretching from horizon to horizon. For hours, your ship sails over what looks like a field of snow, an eerie and beautiful light show with no apparent source, turning the sea into an alien landscape. This is the Milky Sea phenomenon, a rare and mysterious event documented for centuries, but only recently confirmed by satellite. These glowing patches of ocean can cover over 100,000 square kilometers, an area the size of Iceland, and can persist for days or even weeks. Unlike the brief flashes of dinoflagellates which need to be stimulated, this is a continuous, steady glow. The leading theory attributes the light to a massive bloom of a specific species of bioluminescent bacteria. In 1995, a satellite captured the first photographic evidence of a Milky Sea off the coast of Somalia, confirming the sailors' tales were not just legends of the deep. So, the mystery is solved. It's bacteria. But this simple answer opens a much more complex question. Scientists still have no idea what triggers these bacteria to all light up at the same time in the same place on such an impossibly massive scale. It's a coordinated event among trillions upon trillions of microorganisms that we cannot explain or replicate. What unknown signal is turning them on? And what is the ultimate purpose behind the largest light show on Earth?
Number 2. The Bimini Road. In the 1930s, a famous psychic made a startling prophecy. He claimed that in the late 1960s, evidence of the lost city of Atlantis would rise from the sea in the waters near Bimini in the Bahamas. It was a bold and specific prediction that was largely ignored. Then, in 1968, it happened. Divers exploring just off the coast of North Bimini Island discovered exactly what was foretold: a massive, perfectly arranged road of stone submerged beneath the waves. What they found, now known as the Bimini Road, is a stunningly linear, half-mile-long pavement of massive limestone blocks. The stones are mostly rectangular and polygonal, some up to 13 feet long, fitted together with a precision that seems undeniably deliberate. The structure looks for all the world like a man-made road, a pier, or the top of a massive seawall. Some of the larger blocks even appear to be propped up on smaller stones, a classic technique in ancient masonry. The sheer order and alignment of the formation feels impossible to attribute to random chance. perfectly matching the prophecy of a lost civilization. The geological explanation is that the Bimini Road is a natural formation of beach rock, limestone that naturally fractures into blocky geometric shapes. Rising sea levels submerge this fractured rock, creating what only looks like a road. This is the accepted scientific view. But how does natural fracturing result in such a long, perfectly straight line of stones? How does erosion create right angles and what appear to be supporting pillar stones? It is a geological marvel so perfect, it leaves you wondering if nature is a better architect than we ever imagined, or if this road was once traveled by other feet.
Number 1. The Yonaguni Monument. In 1986, a local diver was exploring the waters off the coast of Yonaguni Island in Japan, looking for a new spot to watch hammerhead sharks. Instead, he found something that would rewrite history. Rising from the sea floor was a colossal structure, a mountain of rock that didn't look like it was formed by nature, but looked like it was carved. He saw vast terraces, sharp right angles, and towering pillars. He had stumbled upon an underwater pyramid that, if real, shouldn't exist. The Yonaguni Monument is a monolithic structure, stretching over 165 feet long and rising 90 feet from the seabed. The features are stunningly artificial looking. There's a massive main terrace that looks like a stage, enormous stone steps with perfect 90-degree angles, and formations that have been nicknamed the Turtle and the Loop Road. One prominent marine geologist has spent decades arguing that this is a 10,000-year-old man-made city built by a lost civilization during the last ice age when sea levels were much lower. If he is right, this structure predates the Great Pyramids of Giza by thousands of years. The mainstream scientific and geological argument is that the monument is an unusual but entirely natural formation. Sandstone, especially in a seismically active region, is known to fracture along straight planes, creating the illusion of steps and walls. This is the logical, skeptical view. Yet the sheer concentration of so many seemingly artificial features in one place defies easy explanation. How can natural fractures create a structure with such perfect geometry, leaving us with a final, lingering question? Are we looking at a trick of nature? Or are we staring at a 10,000-year-old city from a chapter of human history that has been completely forgotten? So now you know the real story. Your curiosity is what brought you here. Our job is to reward it with the real explanation every single time. If you're the kind of person who always needs to know the real story, then you're in the right place. Subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.